If you have a Mitsubishi Mirage and you want more power because you simply do, it's a Mirage. It's a three-cylinder 1.2 engine. Of course, you want more power. You guys have hope, and we are able to remap that car. So I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. We have a Mirage outside now that's being set up on the dyno, but the process to do it is this one. So we have what's here, it's called a reader-writer software. So the process of remapping is basically I will stick this plug into the OBD port. Every car has this, by the way, since 2001, so it's under the steering wheel. This is the cable that connects your car's computer to our laptop. So this is what enables them to talk to each other. Then the software here is what enables us to be able to read and to write the ECU. So as you can see here, you have to pay for this one. It's not for free. There's no freeware of this one. So as you can see here, we are under a Mitsubishi CAN bus. So that's the type of ECU, and under here, these are all the cars that we are able to remap. So you can see Colt and manual transmission. We don't have that car here. There is in other countries. This is actually the nice Mirage because this is the three-cylinder turbocharged engine, which we don't have. So we have a Galant 2.4, which is basically the 2.4 engines, which are found also in the Eclipse and in the Grandia. Well, the latest version, which we never got here also. We have a 2.4 gasoline Triton. We never got that here also. Pajero, so manual, automatic, Pajero Sport. By the way, these are all gasoline cars. These are not diesel. So this includes the Pajero 3.6, 3.8, Lancer 1.5, ASX Lancer 1.6, 1.8 2-liter. So there you go. Mirage, Outlander, so Eclipse Cross. We never got this either. And expander, so we can also do the expander as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be hitting this one here, Mirage Outlander. Then once we stick this cable in, we will hit the read button. Then it will read the ECU. The actual file is only about 1.25 MB. An MP3 song is bigger. So once we have that file, we're gonna save it here on our laptop, and that is basically the entire contents of your ECU. So to be able to open that, it is a specific file. It's in binary format, so it's in a .bin. The same way that you need Microsoft Word to open a .doc or an Excel to open a .xls, you need a specialized software to be able to open it and see what the contents inside, and to be able, more importantly, to be able to edit it. Okay, we've downloaded the file and then we've opened it. So this is what it looks like. It's called remap because all of these things are maps. See, the spark advanced base map, ignition base map, correction base map, so on and so forth. So to edit this, click one of this, this comes out the screen. So I've clicked on the Spark Advanced Base Map number 1. So there are several maps here. I will pretty much edit all of them. And every map has an X and a Y axis. So if you fell asleep during third year high school and don't remember any of this, well, that's your own damn fault. And actually 99% of the people I talk to about this have no idea what I'm talking about when I show them this. I show them a graph. It's like, sir, Either number one, absent, number two, tulog, number three, daydreaming about basketball. So, but for the 1% of you who do understand, so this is how this explanation for this graph right here. You have an x-axis here and a y-axis here. The x-axis, one of the axes is always RPM. So this one's here. This is, as you can see, 500 to 6,500 RPM. So that's the reference, and the y-axis here is percentage air, so the amount of air coming in. This basically equates to how much pedal you step on it. So little pedal equals little air, maximum pedal equals maximum air. These numbers don't really mean anything. So it's not 144% air is entering into 1.2 engine. So it's not that. So basically this is a reference segmentation, but this is what the RPM is. And the numbers inside here represent the amount of spark advance that the stock engine has. If you don't know what spark advance is, you just type spark advance explanation in YouTube and watch a 5-minute video, and hopefully you get it. If you still don't get it, I can't help you. But anyway, these are the base numbers, and these are in degrees. So back then, in the days of distributor, you actually have a compromise. You can have a lot of spark advance at the low at RPM, so you get the response, but you might get detonation at the high RPM. Or you can have not so much spark advance, which will result in sluggish power, but you have power in high RPM. So it's a compromise with the distributor system way back then in the 1980s. So now we can tailor the spark advance per RPM. So again, here at the bottom part, say 500 to about here 2000, 3000 RPM. As you can see here, the spark advance is pretty big, 50, 40 degrees to the top dead center. Then it gets lower and lower as you rev. The way that the trajectory is, when you step on the throttle, it actually goes like this. So at the very end, you have 22 degrees at 6,500 RPM. So what you want actually is a little bit more spark advance. So what we can do is we can highlight this area here. We can add. So again, we can add a degree or two, maybe about 5 degrees. If control that. Add a few degrees there. Then we can add a few degrees here also. Maybe usually advance of about 3-4 degrees is okay. So this should give us additional power and response as well. So that should be right about enough there, like that. Then what we do is we're gonna save this map, and then we're gonna save this map, and then we're gonna do all the other ones here. So there's map 1, there's map 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to make the same adjustment for all of this. Same thing also. Let's say here we have RPM limit. The RPM limit is 6,400. We can change it and go all the way to 6, 7. I say we can go to 6.7 RPM or 6.8 RPM, but that does not mean you make more power. That's the common misconception. Say the higher RPM, the more power you make. No, because at that high RPM, the volumetric efficiency of the cylinder head is already maxed out. So instead of instead of keep going up, the graph goes up and then dips down. So you're not making any much more power at 6.8 versus 6.3. So there's a reason why that RPM limit is only at 6.4 RPM. So again, higher RPM does not mean more power. That's only for modified Hondas. Severely modified Hondas with a lot of headwork and bigger valves and springs and everything that you can rev to 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 RPM. That does not apply to any other car. Every other four-cylinder car, if you try to rev it to 8,000, nothing will happen. So we're done with spark, we're done with RPM limit. Injection base map, this is basically what controls the fuel. And this, again, we can see here RPM, we can see here load. This one is your air-fuel ratio represented in lambda. Again, if you don't know what all this means, you just type air fuel ratio explanation in YouTube and it's a 5-minute video. Short explanation, 1 means stoichiometric, 14.7 is to 1, anything less than 1 is rich. Pretty much here, as you can see here, the stock mapping here from 500 to about, because again, remember when we apply the throttle, the line goes like that. So it's 1 up to this point here, 4, 5. This is stoichiometric, meaning that this is ideally what it's supposed to be, but ideal in the real world does not mean more power. We pretty much leave the first 500 to about 2.5 here, we leave it stoichiometric, so that's already ideal. Then the rest here, we can actually make it a little bit rich. We can make it a little bit more rich here as the RPMs go up, along with increased spark timing. Maybe 0.9. Yeah, 0.9 should be okay. And then as we go towards red line, 0.7, this equates to around 12, should be about 12.5, 12.2. This one will determine on the dyno on what the actual air fuel ratio is, but ideally we want to hit around 12.5 to 13 air fuel ratio. That's pretty much as a rule of thumb that gives best power. So we're gonna adjust this as well. Then after we're done adjusting everything, we will save this map and then we plug this back in, load the file, the 1.2 megabyte file, and then your car is officially been reflashed. So with the updated parameters that we just entered. All right, we're done with our Mirage remap, and well, it's a Mirage. What do you expect? So here's the result. And this red line is our stock horsepower. It's 54. If you're wondering why it's really like that, and then yes, there will be people asking, why is it 54? I see in Google that it's 75, 79 horsepower. You have to understand that is the engine's crank horsepower. It's measured in the crankshaft without the transmission, without the drive axle, everything, nothing. So once you put all that in, that has weight, it soaks up power to turn and needs power to keep turning. So the end result that we get to the wheels is 54 horsepower, which is pretty much consistent with a 20 horsepower loss. On bigger cars, say a Civic or a Corolla, we see 35, 40 horsepower transmission loss. That is perfectly normal. Mitsubishi's not lying to you. We're not underrating it. You just have to remember it's wheel horsepower, not crank horsepower. I get this question every single time I post a dyno chart. So anyway, we started at 54 horse, then we ended up at 62 horse. So you think, hey, 8 horsepower. That's not so bad for a 1.2 liter car. And this number here happens at near here, 4,000 weight. Yeah, that number here only happens pretty much near at red line. So that's all we have. And you can see here, if we put this number here, that's why I put it back to the screen here. See here, that's at peak. But if you go here to the lower RPM, let's say at 27 RPM, you can see that it's from 30 to 39. So that's basically 10 horse right there, even lower. So we go from 25 to 2,500. We actually get 25. Yeah, it's also about a little bit more, 11 horse. So average, if we average this whole thing here, because the horsepower gain is not just a single number, it is the difference with every single RPM line here. So you take the difference here, so on and so forth, you average it out. I can safely say that this thing makes 8 to 10 horses all day long. And torque is the same thing. We went from 95 Newton meters to 107. And the torque comes earlier also, instead of being at 3,000 RPM before. Now it's a lot earlier at 2.5. So this is great for overtaking. Aside from power and torque, we get rid of the electronic throttle delay and drive normally as you should. You see about 8 to 10% better mileage. So yes, there's hope for your piece of shit little engine Mirage after all.